Another package of goodwill to support vulnerable but viable farmers by Kawoshi Entrepreneurship Vocational and Training Center, KEVTC, a faith-based organization in Ndola, Zambia. Through the support from Samaritan Purse of the United Kingdom under a program called Raising Families, these peasant farmers now have a reason to till the land, knowing very well they have farming inputs at their disposal. It is only 3 months ago when KEVTC concluded distribution of humanitarian relief food to not less than 12,000 individuals on the Copperbelt province.
Allow me to continue thanking Samaritan Space for their resilience and their prompt response. When we sent an appeal to them, they were able to respond positively, and they supported us with a support mounting to 1.6 million kwacha, which we were able to buy a number of food hampers, which we distributed to over 2,520 families beyond. That translated to way over 12,600 families or individuals that were affected. You can see that our organization also has demonstrated capacity to handle any amount of resources and respond to the disasters that are happening in the country. We are committed to support government in responding to the disasters. And also we are grateful to the leadership of His Excellency, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, who has created an enabling environment for organizations like ours to respond or to partner with them in mitigating the effects of disasters.
Distribution of the humanitarian relief food mostly targeted the victims of floods and dry spells that characterized some parts of the Copperbelt province. Now, to fully alleviate hunger from many of the vulnerable families' households, KEVTC, through the help of the all-weather-friendly partner Samaritan's Purse UK, have come with a permanent solution to the hunger that characterizes many families. Distribution of seed and fertilizer to these many vulnerable but viable farmers here in Ndola's Kafuo farming block marks the commencement of distribution of farming inputs to over 200 farmers in the district before the end of the program.
Kawoshi Entrepreneurship and Vocational Training Center is distributing fertilizer and farming inputs to way over 200 farmers with the support from Samaritan Space UK, who have been our all-weather friend or partner for over 5 years now. We are currently implementing the phase 2 of the Raising Family program, where we now have 120 churches that are participating in the program. We started with 60, but now we have 120 churches participating in the program, which also translates to supporting way over 2,400 families that are being supported through this program. And if we go by an average of 5 people per family, we have over 12,000 individuals benefiting from this program.
According to Reverend Melvin Smangolwa, this is a sustainable way to alleviate poverty and hunger in vulnerable households and increase food security at household level.
What an honor and a privilege for us as Kawoshi Entrepreneurship and Vocational Training Center to partner with Samaritan Space for all these years. And we hope and trust that the Lord will be able to bind us together to grow this work even to greater heights.
As distribution of farming inputs was being done in Kafuo block, another group in Imunkulungwa ward was anxiously waiting for the crew to arrive.
KEVTC, under the program called Raising Family, is willing to work alongside the farmers to ensure that their livelihoods are secured through this support. I must reiterate and thank each one of you for coming to this great occasion that we are witnessing, where we are supporting a lot of farmers with farming input in order for them to be self-reliant. So this contribution is as a result of KEVTC's transparency and accountable to all the funds that comes from the donors. And we are proud to stand and mention that we are committed to ensuring that every donation reaches the intended beneficiary.
As a supplement to government's objective of reducing extreme poverty and prevent its transmission across generations, Samaritan's Purse has, through provision of extra funds, made it possible for KEVTC to introduce a social cash transfer scheme. This is a scheme where the organization, through its donors, is providing funds to the aged, and at least 75 beneficiaries have so far been empowered with at least 205 kwacha each.
Guests of honor, we are also aware of the tireless efforts that government, through the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, is putting in place to alleviate poverty among the vulnerable people by providing social cash transfer. I want to proudly say to you that through the support from Samaritan Space, we are also privileged to supplement government's effort by providing social cash transfer to way over 75 families who will be able to benefit. Even at this occasion, we'll be able to witness a few that will be able to receive that support.
According to a research by the American Institutes for Research, Social Cash Transfer Program is making footprints in increasing food security at household level, improved child well-being, living conditions, and increased productivity and ownership of productive assets.
Entrepreneurship and Vocational Training Center are coming on board to supplement government's effort. And that's why we are here, guests of honor, and we are grateful to Samaritan Space for supporting us to implement this farming input support to the vulnerable but potential farmers. And also bearing in mind that there's a high cost of fertilizer or farming inputs on the market, where most of the potential but vulnerable farmers cannot afford. Guests of honor, we are also aware of the tireless efforts that government, through the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, is putting in place to alleviate poverty among the vulnerable people by providing social cash transfer.
However, the queue of those wanting to be captured under this program is lengthy, while the giving hand remains short. This obviously begs for more donors and increased support to the social cash transfer program if all these gallant men and women are to be captured under this program. Vulnerable school-going children have also not been left out on KEVTC's empowerment programs. The coming on board of Grassroots Trust, another United Kingdom-based sponsor, has enabled these young leaders have access to school necessities such as books, shoes, pens, uniforms, among others.
It is in this perspective that we wish as an organization also to come on board to ensure that young learners from vulnerable families are provided with a shoulder to lean on through these school requisites under the program called Raising Family, with the support from Grassroots Trust.
And due to the adverse economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on many families, A lot of parents are unable to provide school requirements for their children. Lack of necessary requirements has an effect on these children whose performance has retarded because they cannot concentrate while in class. As such, more donors needed to join forces with KEVTC if many of such children are to be reached, especially those in community schools dotted across all the 10 provinces of Zambia.
Education is the only best equalizer that will bring both the rich and the poor to the same table. We want to consolidate this fact by supporting these children to go back to school with ease. And many thanks to Grassroots Trust of UK, Hugo and Sharon and the team for coming on board to support these children in Zambia. This is equally in line with government's desire in providing education to the vulnerable children.
Natota pandame pakutivo lunaikere nalio mpengere sinakona panangukimo pano natota kuti walapo pakumpera kwenda marango kweko mukulia nekuchitako sopo nekuchitako pyonse.
These efforts that KEVTC is putting into addressing the challenges the people of the Copperbelt province are faced with have not gone unnoticed by the Provincial Permanent Secretary, Bright Nundwe, who was represented at distribution of the items by Regional Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, George Akalemwa.
We are again witnessing this massive program from Raising Families Zambia through KEVTC, which has been there, and I'm yet to believe it will continue to be there. May I state here that KEVTC has been a partner of DMMU for quite some time now, and they are truly implementing the transformation and sustainable based approaches which promote economic empowerment to our people and to the local ownership through the main activities which bring in self-reliance and group solidarity in our communities.
KEVTC has remained a source of smile on many people's faces. It is therefore incumbent upon all potential donors to come on board and join hands with this Ndola Zambia-based faith-based organization and touch many lives materially, one by one.